What's up, everybody? It's Kelpsy, and today I'm bringing you guys my 1-bar bow gank build that I've been using for the event, and I've been using it to just farm Telvar and then make really easy kills and just to, just enjoy white streaks. So here it is. This is what we're running. So I'm a Dark Elf Nightblade as always. Of course, Khajiit is best in slot, but I don't care about best in slot, so I'm running Dark Elf. Most races this will work with, as long as it gives you any sort of weapon damage increase. It's even better, but I mean, it's not that big of a difference because we're doing so much burst damage that as long as you pick your target right, it's not a problem. I am running 64 in stamina. Of course, we're running the Oaken Soul Ring. I'm running the Thief Mundus. We have Bewitched Sugar Skulls for our foods, and we have Stage 4 Vampirism. That's not required. I'll talk about that in a second. So for our skills, I am running Incapacitating Strike, which is a flex one. You don't have to use Incap Strike. Another good ult is Toxic Barrage. Both of these are really good. As you can see, Toxic Barrage does almost 80k over 4 seconds. So we're talking 20,000 damage a second. And it does another 43,000 poison damage over 8 seconds after a 1 second delay. So it's a lot of damage. So if you come out of hiding, bringing up also your with the vampirism, how you get extra crit and extra attack damage when you come out of hiding, this does immense damage. So this is another good one, but I like Incap Strike just because I like to use it as a stun. It's a burst, just big hit. You can come up behind somebody, come out of hiding with this, and just one shot them. It's fun. So Incap Strike for the ult. I'm using Resolving Vigor, and the reason I'm using this is because I'm running Stage 4 Vamp. If you're going to run Stage 3 just to get the Undeath passive, then it's much better to run Shrewd Offering. We don't need the Healthy Offering, because this one has, the other one gives us Minor Mending, and this one is a better heal for a little bit cheaper, and it gives and it's faster. And so with that, it's just better because we're not spending that extra stuff to get the Minor Mending, because we already have that thanks to our ring. I am running Relentless Focus, of course. Lethal Arrow, this is our spam. The other version that goes a little bit further but doesn't add the poison effect does help in Cyrodiil, because you can just snipe off the wall better because it's 5 extra meters. But for the most part, since I like running Incap Strike and I prefer being in Imperial City, I don't see the benefit of the 5 extra meters, so I just like doing this. And plus, this does like Defile, so I enjoy it, and it does the little poison status effect, so I use Lethal Arrow. Silver Shards, I use this in conjunction with the combination, and if I'm in battlegrounds or if there's like a ball group, I'll use this to like make sure I'm gonna just like hit everybody, because this hits several targets. But I don't really use it that much. That we're primarily just heavy attacking and then following it with Lethal Arrow. We mostly have this on for the Fighter's Guild passive to give us extra weapon damage, and then Shadowy Disguise because we're being sneaky boys. And that's the whole skill setup. If you don't care about the extra weapon damage, because it is only, what are we looking at? 3%? Yeah, 3% at max level. So if you don't have your Fighter's Guild maxed, or you don't even like care about having that 3% extra, because we are sitting at 5,000, and then when we come out of hiding, it's almost 5,400. So we do have a lot of weapon damage, so you don't technically need that. And if you're going to swap it out, I would recommend using Poison Injection. I'll show you guys what that looks like right now. 4,800, and then coming out of hiding, we're at 5,300. I mean, it's not that big of a drop, so it's up to you. I prefer having that little bit extra. That's just what I like. And it's instant, and it sounds fun. I like the noise. So for our champion points, we're running Wrathful Strikes, Master at Arms, Fighting Finesse, Deadly Aim. All single target, all damage. For our reds, I'm running Boundless Vitality, Slippery, Bastion, Celerity. Now, Bastion is strictly so that we hit those fucking sorcerers and the Dragon Knights and the Templars that have those damage shields. This is just so we hit them hard. That's it. This gives us 15% extra damage done to enemies that are shielded. So if you're following a group and you see a guy and it's listed as intermediate or like squishy, and then you see the igneous shield coming up from a Dragon Knight, then you're going to do 15% more damage on him immediately. So just go ahead and just blast his ass. So Bastion, I definitely like recommend using this for ganking those guys that like to use and utilize shields, because I see a difference in it. I like it. So Bastion isn't required, but I like it. And since I run stage 4 Vamp, using Rejuvenation does jack shit for me because I don't get any health regen anyways, and all of my recovery for my magic and my stamina is fine. Now, I use stage 4 Vamp strictly for the unnatural movement passive. It makes our sprint cost nothing, and then we're invisible after running for 3 seconds. This makes farming Telvar so fucking easy in Imperial City. Now, there is a trick that I'll tell you guys about, like, in Imperial City, when you're running around in this thing, they have, the devs have fucking ruined the visibility in Imperial City, because Imperial City is just a desolate wasteland for the developers of this game. But if you're using this, you have to watch what you're running across. And if you're running up or down a curb in just the streets, just that little drop will make you, if you're running quickly, which in this build you will be, it will make you lose your invisibility because it counts as a jump because you drop. So the way I do it is hit every single incline, whether it's stairs, curb, anything, hit it at an angle and you won't lose invisibility. That's what I do. So like if you're running, turn it to 45 before you run up some stairs, and you'll run up and over it seamlessly. You won't hop off the end like you're a fucking BMX rider, and you'll be completely good. Typically, it is something you have to get a hang of, but this is why I run stage 4 Vamp. We still get R on Death. We still get Strike from the Shadows. This does make all of our stuff cost a good portion more. We're looking at plus 12%, so it's kind of rough on that end, but we're not staying in open combat. Our fights don't last long. Our fights last maybe a few seconds. Worst case, you're going to do 2 rotations, and then you're going to leave. That's it. So that's that. So for our sets, this is a tried and true build. We are running Enthelmer's Construct, Divines, Light, and with Stamina Enchants. Now, you can do tri-stats if you want, but I'm just running Stamina to get that base resource as high as possible so that we can sprint around, because that's what I'm using for my invis for the most part. And then also, the higher your base resources of your attacks, that makes your damage go up. So then we're also running a full set of Tarnished Nightmare in Divines. Now, I'm running the Jack, the necklace, the ring, and the bow. Now, you don't have to use a bow. I'll go over the second version of this build in a second. I don't have any footage of that version because my OBS has been messing up, so I didn't get the footage I wanted last night. But it works using dual maces, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Now, of course, we're running the Oaken Soul Ring. All of our jewelry is infused, everything with weapon and spell damage increase. And then we're running a 4-piece of Oak Fathers, so we just really increase our weapon and spell damage. And that's the build. That's it. It is a very easy, you can buy Oak Fathers. If you want to do this build as quickly, like if you are trying to do the event right now, or you're just really wanting to start ganking or starting to learn to gank, number one, just buy the Oak Fathers necklace, ring, and bow. And then like the jack, or like 1 piece, and then just farm the rest of this. Like I would go through and farm the armor, and then once you get all 5 pieces of Tarnished Nightmare, then buy the 1-piece Oak Father armor, and then run that, because the jewelry and the weapons only drop in the last boss, and it took me a while to get the bow and the maces. So If you want to get it together right now, don't do it this setup that I have it. I have this setup because I'm a Nightblade main and I'm a nerd. If you want to do it quickly, just buy the Oakfather's jewelry and weapon, and then get the one-piece armor after you get the rest of your Tarnished Nightmare armor. That's what I would do. And so, with that being said, I'm running a Crusher enchant on the bow. That's not 100% required. I use it because this just makes them take more damage. I'm using Nirnhone, so it had to be transmuted. If you use Sharpened, so you get higher penetration, you can run for higher critical. But I like Nirnhone with Crusher enchant because the Crusher will proc, they'll take more damage, and Nirnhone because our number one skills are the heavy attack, which is from the bow, and the snipe, which is from the bow. And then if you want to run the bow ult, that also helps. So that's the build. So for the rotation, what I do is when I come out of hiding, I start with the heavy attack to reveal myself. I'm hidden while I'm heavy attacking, and then I follow it with snipe, and then light attack, weave in silver shards, and if I have it, I'll light attack, weave in Unrelenting Focus. Now, Unrelenting Focus, I don't usually have to use that. I usually explicitly use it for either someone super tanky that's been annoying, or to completely obliterate somebody else that's ganking, just to set a precedent of letting them know I'll just delete you. Because that and in-cap strike, you can usually one-shot other gankers, just done, and just keep moving. So that's what I'll usually use those for. But if not, I'll just use them on anybody, especially if I'm doing repeated ganks. If I kill someone and then their teammates see it and they're approaching me and I have to kill a second one, I'll usually have Unrelenting Focus and I'll use that and drop them. So that's a big help, but that's the whole thing. I've seen other people try to argue that they don't use heavy attack coming out of hiding. I think that's silly because heavy attacking takes so much longer. Heavy attack takes several seconds, whereas snipe takes 0.8 seconds. So I don't see the reason to not do that. But here's what I do. I will be in hiding, heavy attack, and then that's the thing. And if you are ganking, go grab your axe so you reduce your cooldown. And that's the rotation for that. Now, if you are wanting to do the other build, like I had mentioned, and you want to do two-hand. Now, two-hand does more damage. Well, the dual wield, it definitely does more damage. We're running a Nirnhone and a Sharpened. We're running dual maces, so we have way higher pin than we did before. As you can see, our pin's higher. And then we're going to run surprise attack for our spammable. You can swap this out with Power Siphon or even Mass Hysteria. Anything you really want. I've seen a lot of people running something like Sap Essence, but I still like to keep on that. Or Debilitate, because that does a decent little DOT and it fucking stops them and it applies Overcharged. But with this, it's the exact same thing. You just go hidden, charge up. That's it. And of course I use my Unrelenting Focus there when I had it, just because it came up, hit for 44,000, and it heals us if you're close. So if you use it on this, it does that. Now, like I said, this does more damage, but the bow ganking is just safer. So if you want to swap things up, if you're feeling frisky and you want to go close up, that's a good way. And it's also way easier to use in-cap strike like this, because then you can just come up, bang, 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 bang. No one's going to live through that unless they're already way too tanky than what you should be attacking anyways. So it's a fun build. That's the other version of it. And yeah, let me know. I'm going to attach a lot of, I don't have any, like I said before, I don't have any of the footage of me using the dual wield. I'm sorry about that. My OBS has been acting up. It took me fucking 3 days of nonstop attempting. My OBS just keeps stopping recording while I'm in Cyrodiil. I don't know what's going on. So let me know what you guys think about the build. Let me know if you do anything different on your gank builds. And yeah, thanks as always. Thanks for the support. Thanks for